Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we discuss on the latest transfer updates. We begin with Marcos Alonso. As Premier League club Aston Villa are pushing for Marcos Alonso as their interest for the player remains high. We are going to discuss on that as we move ahead. Secondly, talking about striker Vitor Roque, as Barca are annoyed with the Brazil national team for not calling up the teenage wonderkid. We are also going to be discussing on that. So as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. For those who are just coming across the channel for the very first time, you are very much welcome. Please give this video a thumbs up and watch it right up to the very end. Over the past week, there have been rumblings about the future of Barcelona fullback Marcos Alonso. The 32-year-old Spaniard is one of the few first-team players that the Blaugrana have not yet registered with La Liga, with 2 games already played in the new season. One of the reasons behind him being unregistered is the player's wages, which are comparatively higher given that his registration has not yet taken place and his potential sale would create room for new arrivals. Alonso has been linked with an exit heading into the final week of the transfer window. And as per recent reports relayed by Mundo Deportivo, Aston Villa are understood to be one of the clubs interested in securing the services of Alonso from Barcelona. The 32-year-old is well versed with the rigors of the Premier League, having spent several successful years at Chelsea, and a move back could very well be on the cards for the Spanish international, especially if his registration process does not go along smoothly. Aston Villa are in the market for reinforcements at left back and are primarily targeting Marcos Acuna of Sevilla. However, with the Andalusians playing hardball over the transfer fee demands, the Birmingham-based outfit Aston Villa are also looking at Alonso as an option. Alonso, however, does not wish to leave Barcelona this summer, while recent reports are suggesting that manager Xavi Hernandez also does not wish to offload the veteran left back. But given the financial fair play situation, nothing is off the table at the moment, and it will be interesting to see if Alonso stays or leaves. Alonso's future is one of the most talking points right now in recent reports, as the player has been linked with a return to the Premier League, right? But there have been reports saying that unless Barca fail to register him, then he might just leave because Alonso haven't played a single minute so far, and reports are pointing out the fact that his wages are comparatively higher. That is why there have been some issues as regards his registration. Of course, Alonso did extend his Barca contract at the beginning of this year, extended it to 2024. And of course, Barcelona uh, are open to the idea that if he leaves, then so be it. The club are looking for finance, and whatever comes, Barca will use it in a positive way, right? Alonso last season had I think he had a very poor season, one of the poorest seasons of his career. He was signed from Chelsea as a free agent last season, but it was shocking when he came as a top quality left back, as we all know. He didn't have a great season, right? He came in when we saw Jordi Alba still there last season, and Alejandro Balde took over the reins as the main left back for Xavi. But Alonso sometimes he plays as centre back, plays as once in a while plays at the left back position that he's best suited, but still yet he wasn't at his best. He didn't deliver much as many would have expected. So there have been a lot in the rumor mill these days talking about the player's future as it remains uncertain. Javi Hernandez, according to reports, does not want Marcos Alonso to leave. He has told the player that, please, I want you to stay. I want you to stay. Javi wants him to be an untouchable. But Barcelona are still not completely into that idea, because if a good offer comes along, I wouldn't be surprised If Barca accepts that and move on, of course, Javi's own idea is the fact that he doesn't want Alejandro Balde to be the only left back, right? It looks a type because if Balde carries an injury, who will be his natural replacement? Nobody. Nobody. And I think Javi has a point. That's the only thing because there's no time to start looking for a new left back right now. The window is almost getting done. And of course, Barcelona trying to get a new left back is impossible. So Alonso there will really help the club in order to have a backup for that left back position for Alejandro Balde, who looks set to continue that position to make it his own after his consistent performances last season at that position. He will continue to take that as his own position. So let's just see how it goes for him. Let's see. Alonso is still there. We don't know if he will play against Villarreal. There have been reports saying that Barca are already optimistic that his registration will be done in the next few days. But I don't know. It's still unknown if he will be able to catch up for that third La Liga game of the season against Villarreal. So let's see if Aston Villa's pursuit will go through or not. Then on to the final story of discussion. Barca have been left annoyed with the Brazil national team over the latter snap of Vitor Roque for their upcoming international fixtures, according to Sports Joaquim Pieira. Barca secured the signing of Roque from Atlético Paranense earlier this summer, spending 30 million euros plus 31 million in variables on his acquisition. So uh, owing to the trickery financial fair play situation, though, it was agreed that the 18-year-old will remain in Brazil at least until January next year so that he can continue playing and developing. Having stayed back at Atlético Paranense, Roque has been in terrific form. In the 2023 season in Brazil, the 18-year-old striker has netted 18 goals and set up 8 more from 39 appearances across all competitions. Given his contributions for Atletico, it was expected that the Brazil manager Fernando Diniz would be calling him up to the national team for the upcoming World Cup qualifiers in September. The Seleção are scheduled to play Bolivia and Peru in the second week of September, but to the surprise of many, Roque was left out of the roster. Instead, the manager has called up players like Richarlison and Matheus Cunha, who have not been among the goals of their respective clubs. As such, Barcelona are understood to have been left annoyed by the Brazil national team. Having left Roque behind at Atletico, the Catalans wish to see him continue developing and exposure with the Seleção at the international level would have helped quite a lot. So the annoyance over the 18-year-olds being snubbed does not come as a surprise. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.